What do you tell people? I mean, especially the adults. I was about to say, I'm the one who kind of waits as late as I can because I'm not worried about passing the physical. But what if they find something like there could, what I'm going to suggest is if you have any doubts about being medically cleared to go on the trek, get your physical like as early as you can, and still be within the window of what they'll accept, because that gives you time to address anything that they find. Like if it's a blood pressure problem, 6 months may not be enough to fix it.
Right.
If it's a weight thing, you may need more time than that. I don't even know what other health issues there could be, but I've never really worried about that. So make sure your own assessment of your health and your ability to pass the physical, that you give yourself plenty of time to do that. But I consider that one to be, for most healthy people, I assume that's going to be less of a time crunch item than WFA, wilderness first aid training. You may say, hey, I've got 6 months left, but that training may only be offered once a year or every other year in your council. Like, you really need to understand what the schedule is to accommodate getting that training for all the required people in your crew.
What I hear, ours are filling up fairly quickly.
Yep, they do.
Well, I had an issue a couple years ago where mine was expired and a crew asked me if I could go with them, and I needed to get it done. And when I went to sign up, they're like, "Oh, too bad. The last slot just we talked someone into signing up yesterday." I'm like, well, is there anyone who doesn't need it? Is there anyone who's doing it because you were like, "Hey, come do it so we don't have to cancel the class"? Well, we're not doing that. They're signed up and it's full. And I'm like, but I have an active need to get this so that the crew can go, because they don't have enough people with WFA. And they're like, hey, too bad, you should have signed up earlier. So keep in mind, you may not run into people who are willing to and you know what? It was on me for expecting that they may ask, hey, does anyone actually not need it? And you're just doing it because, and you give up the slot for someone who needs it. They weren't willing to do that. I had to drive to another state to get it done. And that kind of sucked, having to drive that far. So figure that out ahead of time so you don't find yourself in the position I was in.